Today on Inquirer, Pagasa declares the onset of rainy season. Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel urges President Bongbong Marcos to veto the controversial Maharlika Fund bill. Authorities identify gunman responsible for the killing of a radio commentator in Oriental Mindoro through a single photo discovered in his motorcycle stop box. And Denver Nuggets downs Miami Heat to take Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Good evening. The State Weather Bureau announces the beginning of the rainy season in the country. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration says the onset of the rainy season was marked by the passage of Super Typhoon Betty and the prevailing southwest monsoon or habagat. In a statement, Pagasa Officer in Charge Esperanza Kayanan notes El Nino is expected to decrease rainfall but habagat will make up for it. The state meteorologist official also says transition to El Nino is favored in the next couple of months with a higher chance of the phenomenon to persist up to the first quarter of 2024. Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel urges President Bongbong Marcos to veto the Maharlika Investment Fund bill and return it to Congress. Jean Mangaluz has the report.
Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel III urged President Ferdinand Marcos to veto the controversial Maharlika Investment Fund and return it to Congress, allowing lawmakers more time to address the concerns surrounding it. He said that the bill in its current form is not acceptable. Pimentel added that it's in the best interest of the Filipino people and the administration if the measure is sent back to Congress, so that lawmakers have a chance to take a second look at the bill in order to address the concerns raised by different sectors. Citing Senator Francis Escudero, Pimentel said that the flaws in the bill are a result of haste and ill-conceived legislation. Pimentel also said that in its current form, the MIF could not withstand the judgment of the Supreme Court. He had previously said that the highest court of the country is the next battleground for the MIF bill. He reiterated that the MIF could be challenged before the courts and that he will make himself available for information about this. The Senate version of the MIF bill was adopted by the House of Representatives last Wednesday and now only awaits the signature of Marcos Jr. This is Jean Mangaluz for INQUIRER.net.
Police say the gunman responsible for the killing of a radio commentator in Oriental Mindoro has been identified through a single photo discovered in his motorcycle stop box. To tell us more, here's John Eric Mendoza reporting live. Eric?
Yes, Neil, the alleged gunman responsible for the killing of a radio commentator in Oriental Mindoro has been identified through a photo discovered in his motorcycle stop box. That is according to Police Colonel Samuel De Lorino, Director of Oriental Mindoro's Police Provincial Office. In a radio interview, De Lorino also said that a prime witness positively identified the riding and tandem gunman who killed Crescenciano Aldovirong Bundukin, a radio commentator shot in front of a store he owned along C5 Road in Barangay Santa Isabel early Wednesday morning. The suspects abandoned the motorcycle after killing the victim. The vehicle was later recovered by the authorities. The gunman's cohort, who served as a motorcycle driver, already died after sustaining head injuries when Bundukin's son chased him and bumped their motorcycle. Both suspects were not wearing helmets when they committed the crime. Meanwhile, De Lorino said police would talk with Bundukin's son on Friday to gather more information. The official said authorities are still looking into possible angles, including the possibility that someone might have personal anger towards him due to his hard-hitting remarks as a radio commentator. Neil?
That's John Eric Mendoza reporting live. The government launches the EGov Super App, a comprehensive platform to consolidate multiple services, streamline processes, and combat corruption. The move comes under the leadership of President Bongbong Marcos, who has stressed the importance of e-governance as a means to keep pace with modern advancements. Through the Super App, Filipinos will be able to access and avail of government services. This includes valid personal identification in digital format, essential day-to-day core government services, e-tourism and e-travel services, e-payments and banking services, and even useful news and information about various subjects. During the app unveiling at President Hall in Malacanang on Friday, Marcos says the app is another way to lessen corruption.
There is another part of this that is extremely important that we sometimes do not talk about, and that is the lessening of corruption. Because when you do not have to talk to a person at all for the entire process, wala kang kausap na tao, kung di mo ako lagyan, hindi ko ipapaano ito, hindi ko iipiting ko ito. Yung mga ganun. O kausapin mo yung si ganto ganyan, siya mag-aayos, yung fixer niya. Wala na yan, mawawala na yan.
During the launch, the president says the government must also facilitate the rapid development of the country's interconnectivity infrastructure and digitalization to boost the economy. He adds that this is something where the Philippines has fallen behind.
The whole idea of e-governance is something that we need to do because we have fallen behind. We hope with the beginnings of the e-governance system that a senior living in a isolated place, an isolated island somewhere, by which time we will have had connectivity, can just go onto their phone.
President Bongbong Marcos has issued an executive order urging all government offices and local government units to adopt and implement an integrated financial management information system in their transactions with the general public. Executive Order Number 29 seeks to ensure fast and efficient delivery of services to the public by capitalizing on digitization efforts. Aside from the national government agencies and the LGUs, the order also urges government-owned or controlled corporations to adopt and implement the system in their transactions. A committee composed of representatives from the Department of Budget and Management, Department of Finance, Commission on Audit, and the Bureau of Treasury will be created to help in the transition to full digitalization of the process via the system. Under the EO, the committee will review key processes, including budget management and execution, cash management, and accounting and reporting to pinpoint bottlenecks. The committee will also update corresponding policies, re-engineer processes, and maximize the use of financial systems, and devise a strategic plan through reforms roadmap to expedite the system's development. A 31-year-old farmer was struck by lightning in the town of Rizal in Occidental Mindoro, according to the local Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office. Rizal MDRRMO officer in charge Jolen Soriano tells INQUIRER.net that the victim, Alex Enio, had gone out early to work in the fields on Thursday. According to Soriano, he had not come home around noon, so they began searching for him. The victim was found in the seedbed of his farm. The farmer was brought straight to the hospital and declared dead. Soriano says there had been a rainfall advisory at the time and classes were also suspended. Asked if this was a death that could be affiliated with former Super Typhoon Betty, Soriano says it was possible. Tito Sotto discloses that the Eat Bulaga hosts only came up with a decision to disengage from Tape Inc. moments prior to their announcement, after the production company forbade them from airing live episodes. In an interview on Thursday, Tito details how he, Vic Soto, Joey De Leon, along with their co-hosts, arrived at the decision to leave the production company. According to Tito, they went to work on Wednesday for the live program and to talk about and decide on their issues. But they were surprised to learn that tape apparently did not allow them to air live. The former Senate President pointed out that TVJ did not resign but, quote, disengaged from tape as they do not have a contract with them to begin with. Tito noted that tape even called for a meeting with the hosts prior, but the management might have been given, quote, wrong information, which prompted them to forbid the hosts from airing live. At the latter part of his interview, Tito declared that they felt free after parting ways with tape. The Denver Nuggets launched their first NBA Finals campaign in franchise history with a dominant victory over the Miami Heat. The Nuggets took Game 1 with a 104-93 win over the Heat, propelled by yet another Nikola Jokic triple-double. Two-time most valuable player Jokic scored 27 points with 10 rebounds and 14 assists to lead the Nuggets. Bam Adebayo scored 26 points to lead Miami, while Gabe Vincent added 19 points. Denver will try to double their advantage in the best-of-7 series when they host Game 2 on Monday, Manila time. Alamin naman natin ang mainit na balita sa mundo ng showbiz kasama si Ann Therese Arceo ng Bandera. Ann?
Hello Neil, at hello sa lahat ng kabandera natin all over the universe. Narito ang latest chika for today. Super proud ang dating EB-Babe member na si Lian Paz sa achievements ng kanyang mga anak na sina Sonia at Celine. Sa kanyang Instagram account ay ibinahagi niya ang mga larawan na kuha sa elementary graduation ni Celine at recognition ceremony naman ni Sonia. Si Sonia na panganay ni Lian Paz sa dating asawang si Paolo Contis ay nag-top 1 sa kanilang klase at overall achiever naman sa buong first year level sa kanilang paaralan. Samantala, si Celine naman ay nagtapos sa elementary at with high honors kaya naman talagang happy si Lian. Pagbabahagi niya, consistent ang mga anak sa pagiging masipag at achiever sa pag-aaral. Pagkukwento pa nga ni Lian, noong pababa na sila ng stage ni John Cabahag, ang kanyang fiancé at siyang tumatayo ring ama ni na Sonia at Celine, ay pansamantala muna silang naghiwalay at nagmuni-muni dahil teary-eyed silang pareho sa mga achievements ni na Sonia at Celine. Lubos rin siya nagpapasalamat sa kanyang partner sa pagmamahal, pagtulong at pagsuporta nito sa dalawa. Marami naman sa mga netizens ang nagpaabot ng kanilang congratulatory messages para sa dalawang dalagita, pati na rin kina Jan at Lian, ngunit hindi maiiwasan na maimbyar na ang ilan dahil sa apelyidong bitbit ng mga bata. Komento ng isang netizen, "Bitbit pa ang apelyido, wala namang ambag. Ha ha ha. Anyway, congrats. You have a long way to go. Aim high." Sagot naman ni Lian sa komento ng netizen, "Asking na nga po ang mga bata to have it changed." Kalakip nito ay isang sad emoji. Matatandaan na sa naging interview noon ni Paolo sa Past Talk with Boy Abunda, inamin ng aktor na hindi nga siya nakakapagbigay ng sustento sa kanyang mga anak kay Lian, pati na rin sa anak nito kay LJ Reyes na si Summer. Ngunit sa kabila nito ay mayroon naman daw siyang savings para sa mga anak at balak niya itong ibigay sa kanila. Sa latest interview rin ni Paolo kay Nelson Canlas ay ibinahagi nito na nais muna niyang ayusin ang kanyang relasyon sa mga anak, maging sa mga nanay ng mga ito, bago siya tuluyang magpakasal muli. Matatanda ang noong 2009 ay ikinasal sina Paolo at Lian sa Isabela. Ngunit matapos ang 4 na taon ay naghiwalay rin ang dalawa. Sa ngayon ay ongoing pa rin ang pagwawalang bisa ng kanilang kasal. At yan nga ang latest showbiz chika for today. Tutok lang sa bandera para sa mas may init pang pasabog sa mundo ng showbiz. Salamat, Neil!
Maraming salamat, Ann. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.